The House Committee on Election Integrity will come to order. Will the clerk please take the attendance?
Chair Smit.
Present.
Representatives Fox.
Present.
Outman.
Here.
Alexander.
Here.
Hoadley.
Here.
Pavlo.
Here.
Wooden.
Here.
Colzar.
Here.
Song. Madam Chair, you do have a quorum.
Representative Hoadley moves to adopt the minutes from August 19th. There being no objection, the motion prevails by unanimous consent. Well, good morning, members of the committee and guests. Today we will be taking up House Bills 4793 through 4795. We will hear testimony from Representative Hoadley testifying in support of this bill package. Will Representative Hoadley come forward and please begin when you are ready.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair. And hope you don't mind I brought up my guest here to kind of speed up the process. But thank you, Madam Chair, and members of this committee for allowing me the opportunity to testify on this package of bills, 4793, 4794, 4795. The goal of this package is to remove the section of Michigan law that concerns an acceptance of office of a school board candidate or a community college board member, and how they're required to file kind of an acceptance of office after winning their race. As you know, for most of us, we file an affidavit of identity prior to filing for office. When a political candidate like you and I run for public office, that's what we do, and we take an oath of office after we win that election. The same is with those three offices as well. So the bottom line is this law, as it is, in my view, redundant. So we just want to clarify that. So when a candidate who commits to run for school board position and campaigns for months to win that should be held to the same standards as other elected officials like you or I. I already mentioned being redundant. So with me today, again, not a whole lot to talk about here. This is pretty clean legislation. But with me today to give a little bit more context with that, I have former State Representative Steve Johnson with me today. I'm sure some of you may know him well. Steve's own story will serve testament of why we're before you today and why we're considering removing this requirement. I will turn the mic over to Representative Johnson, who will direct, produce, and star the need to remove this requirement.
Good morning, former State Representative Johnson.
Good
Welcome,
morning.
and please begin when you are ready.
Yes, well, thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Good to see some of you again. I'll try to be brief, share my experience of why this seems like kind of an odd thing, right? Why this is coming here. My experience, so I ran for school board last year. There's 2 spots that were open, the 2 incumbents ran, and then myself. And we actually got the most votes on election night, which is really fun. Go through the process, get the call from the superintendent after it gets certified, and he said, hey, there's some forms you got to sign. Like, yep, perfect. When do I have to sign them by? He said, anytime before January 1. That's when you start your office. It's like, perfect. I was kind of busy with some work. I was like, I'll probably come in the week before Christmas. That's when things die down. But then early December, I get a call and say, hey, you never signed the acceptance of office form. You've now been, you're being vacated from your seat, and the school board will appoint a replacement. It's like, wait a minute here. I thought I had till January 1st. Well, yeah, we kind of forgot. There's this other form that you have 10 days after the election to sign. I was like, well, okay. Seemed like I got some misinformation, but at one point I should maybe know. At the end of the day, the responsibility is on me. But it was kind of a paperwork error. It's like, well, we just had an election. I would assume that the board would appoint the person who won, right? That's kind of an easy way to do this. We want to follow the will of the voters. That's not what happened. They actually appointed the person we beat, which is just kind of a direct attack on the voters, in my opinion. And so we're looking at this saying, all right, you know, kind of a bizarre situation that happened there. I don't think that's the intent of this law. what can we do to sort of fix this? And we're looking at it and going, this seems completely redundant. So the process, if you win school board, within 10 days after certification, you have this acceptance of office form. And all it says is, I accept this office. Pretty much what it is. Okay, is that really necessary? Because there's another form, the oath of office, which you guys have all signed, that you then sign before January 1 when you take office. It's like, well, if you're signing the oath of office, isn't that sort of a de facto acceptance of office? Do we really need two forms? And I certainly don't think we need this other form that kind of allows for the will of the voters to really be undone there. So thanks to the rep here that said, let's just get rid of this. It's not necessary. If you believe in democracy and say the people should have their voice heard, I don't think you need this form. So we're happy to support it. Yeah, happy to answer any questions if people have any.
Thank you both for being here and especially for coming today, Mr. Johnson, to just give your experience too and what had unfortunately happened in your situation. Just to clarify, no other office held has this 10-day of acceptance form, correct? It's only for the school boards, intermediate school board, and
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, these are the only offices that have this redundant requirement.
okay, thank you. We will take further questions. Representative Colasar.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for your testimony. Former Rep. Johnson, good to see you again. Yeah, this seems pretty ridiculous. You were duly elected by the voters in your district. You should assume that office, would be my assumption. So I guess my question is why did this exist in the first place?
That's a great question, and we've been looking for that answer for months while we've been drafting this legislation to see what the pitfalls were or what we were doing was counterproductive. And the reality is there's not an answer to that question, Representative.
I mean, this is also, by the way, the subject of my worst nightmare. Whenever I've gotten elected, I've always thought, oh my God, what if I forget to fill this out or do that, and all of a sudden I can't assume office. I'm sorry you're going through it, because that's literally the subject of my worst nightmares.
Yeah, imagine the chaos if we all had to do that afterwards, and how many would slip through the cracks, and it would be utter chaos.
Representative Outman.
Well, thank you, Madam Chair. Representative Colasar kind of stole my thunder. I was, in your deep dive of this legislation, I was just trying to see if you guys got an explanation as to why this odd requirement was in law, but apparently you haven't. So, I mean, no worries.
I'm sure there's a situation at one point, but we can't seem to find it. And so that's when this whole thing started. I was kind of thinking, all right, maybe we extend the timeline. Maybe there's no notification that when you win it that you have 10 days to do this. It's odd. The law requires the county clerk has to tell you won your race. I was like, I know I won my race. They don't have to tell you about this form. And so at one point I was like, well, maybe we put a notification. And then we started looking into it and said, is this even necessary? We can't seem to find where it came from. And that's when I said, let's just get rid of it. The oath of office is sufficient.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think that's probably the right approach to this type of issue. But I do appreciate you being here. Thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day. And I'll echo some of the sentiments of my colleagues. And apologies to for what took place in your race. It certainly is an attack on the will of the voters. So again, thank you for being here.
No further questions. So thank you very much for both of your testimonies today, and look forward to working these bills through this committee.
Thank you.
Next, we have Lisa Capatina wishing to speak, is neutral. If you would like to come forward, please, and give your testimony. Please begin when you are ready.
There we go. Thank you. My name is Lisa Capatina, and I thank you for the opportunity to speak today. The last several months, I have attended your election integrity meetings, and while I find them valuable and am grateful to attend, I am saddened to hear that a few refer to these meetings as a Republican circus and diminish constituents to election deniers.
Mrs. Capatina, if you would like to speak to this bill, you may.
Oh.
But you need to speak to this bill package.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank
I
you.
thought it was to anything in general, just about elections.
Nope, it would be to this bill package.
Okay,
47.
I'm so sorry.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you for your time. Next, we will read in the cards for the remainder of not wishing to speak. Melanie Macy with Promote the Vote supports the bills. Not wishing to speak supports the bills. Sherry Ritchie, representing Pure Integrity Michigan Elections. Not wishing to speak supports the bill. Aaron Shore, representing MDOS. Not wishing to speak supports the bill. Katie Witkowski, representing Michigan Community College Association. Okay, well, next, the committee will take up House Bill 4736. We do have a substitute offered before us by myself, which will simply add the office of the county executive in addition to the county commissioner to the list of offices that will follow the county candidate replacement process. Representative Fox moves to adopt substitute H1 for HB 4736 with the recommendation. Will the clerk please take the roll?
On the motion to adopt the substitute, Chair Smit,
Yes.
Representatives Fox,
Yes.
Outman,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Hoadley,
Yes.
Pavlo,
Yes.
Wooden,
Yes.
Colzar,
Yes.
Song. Madam Chair, you have 8 yeas, 0 nays, and 0 pass. The motion does prevail.
The substitute is adopted. Representative Hoadley moves to report HB 4736 with recommendation as substitute H1. Will the clerk please take the roll?
On the motion to report, Chair Smit,
Yes.
Representatives Fox,
Yes.
Outman,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Hoadley,
Yes.
Pavlo,
Yes.
Wooden,
Yes.
Colzar,
Yes.
Song. Madam Chair, you have 8 yeas, 0 nays, and 0 pass. The motion does prevail.
HB 4736 is reported with recommendation as substituted. And Representative Wooden moves to excuse absent members. There being no objection, the motion prevails by unanimous consent. And there being no further business before this committee, the committee will stand adjourned.